the 16th of October 1999 brought Newcastle to an away game at Coventry City. The attendance was just over 23,000, some of which were obviously travelling Geordies. They unfortunately saw Newcastle go 2-0 down before Warren Barton received a red card in the 29th minute. Two further goals, including one by a young Robbie Keane, meant that Didier Domi's 81st minute consolation goal was exactly that. And the date in game today is the 14th of October, so not quite the 16th, but as close as we can get. It's a tough game where I'm also expecting to lose 4-1 at the very least. It's Chelsea. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In real time, I've just sort of rebranded, so I'm not saying TedRedwood Gaming anymore, it's TedRedwood FM, because that's the focus of this channel, so it makes sense, right? Obviously, if you like what you see on the video today, please do remember to like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel out, helps the channel grow, lets me know that you're enjoying it and the sort of things you want to see. But let's get into it. To bring you up to speed with how we are going, we met for this Cardiff game on the 10th of September, which was our first game in charge of Newcastle. We drew 1-1. Then followed up with a 3-1 win over Southampton in the league. Matt Ritchie, Kennedy and Ayoza Perez getting on the score sheet. Shane Long getting on there for Southampton. It was quite a close game. I'd say we did edge it. And at 1-1 Southampton went to a really attacking Christmas tree formation and it just backfired completely. So we could have won more than 3-1 in the end. But happy days. First win for me as a Newcastle manager. And our first win of the season looking at it. How about that? Then a 1-1 draw against Bournemouth in the League Cup. I swear the names of some of my competitions are changing, but I'm sure it's fine. This is the EFL Cup, I think, but it now says League Cup, and Premier League is just Premier League rather than Barclays Premier League. Hey ho, it's got all the right logos on it, so that's fine. Yes, a 1-1 draw against Bournemouth in the League Cup third round. Mitrovic getting on the score sheet for us, Joshua King equalising the 81st, and then we couldn't make the most of a 107th minute sending off the junior Stanislas. It went to penalties. We lost 7-6. I knew it was by 1, so it went into sudden death, and Kieran Clark missed the decisive penalty, unfortunately, to put Bournemouth through. I don't know if I'm going to show the little graphic. If I do, it'll be up here somewhere. That means that the third round exit matches that of Sir Bobby Robson in his first season in charge at Newcastle. So far, we're being Sir Bob. And then two really close games, which we just managed to lose on both accounts. We lost 3-2 away at Brighton and 4-2 at home to Watford. So in the Brighton game, we went 1-0 down, then 1-0, then 2-1 to Brighton, then 2-0, and then Anthony Knockaert scored in the 71st minute for Brighton. Real close game. We took 3,000 away fans as well, lots of away fans as always with Newcastle fans, top-notch stuff. But unfortunately didn't see us get the victory, which I think we deserved. It was really even. We had better chance in the second half, but we were just stung by a counter-attack, unfortunately. And the 4-2 defeat at home to Watford was horrible to play and horrible to watch. Troy Deeney scoring, Mitrovic equalising, and then they scored 3 more before Jacob Murphy, before Jacob Murphy got the final goal or consolation to make it 4-2. Again, a really even game. They were just really clinical with their chances, which is a massive shame. And today we have Chelsea, and I'm slightly worried. Let's have a look at the league. So we are currently in 12th place. We've got a game in hand on the teams around us. We're on 7 points from 7 games, which isn't great. 1 win, 4 draws, 2 defeats, -1 goal difference. Chelsea currently sitting 5th, and a win will push them up to at least 4th, possibly 3rd. So not going bad. I'd say we've been hampered pretty severely by injuries as well. Obviously when we came in, I can't remember who was injured when we came in. A couple of players. I think DeAndre Yedlin was injured, and Dwight Gale got injured pretty much immediately. Lascelles also got injured. So these players are only just coming back really. So if I actually look at the squad for today, so we've got Elliott in goal, Manquillo, Lascelles, Clark, Dummett at the back, Ritchie, Shelby, Hayden and Aarons in midfield, then Mitrovic and Perez up front. So we've been playing Lejeune and Clark. Lejeune, I mean, neither him or Clark have had really good average ratings at all. They've looked a bit shaky, but been waiting for Mbemba to come back, and he's finally back from injury, but he's not ready for today's game. He's been playing some reserve football to get him up to snuff. Is that a phrase? It is now anyway. Kennedy is unfortunately ineligible because we're playing Chelsea and the English league is peculiar and don't allow that kind of stuff. And then in addition, we've had Atsu, Dwight Gale and Joselu all being injured recently, so hence Rolando Aarons starting. And no strikers on the bench because I've had to have that last few games, which has been real fun. In terms of staff movement, there's been quite a lot. I'm going to pick out players for the most part, or ex-players or ex-notable people, because a lot of them are random, a lot more random than I would have hoped. But we've got David Navarro, who's come in as an under-18s coach, so he played for Valencia for a while, so probably familiar to some. Derek Langley's a pretty well-known scout, I believe. We've got John Carver in, he's back yet again. Look at that history with Newcastle, it's crazy. He is back as an assistant manager and loving it so far, he's all over it. Darren Huckabee comes in as under-18s assistant manager. He spent only a year at Newcastle, but I remember him being there in my youth, so here he is. His hair's still pretty amazing too. Ex-manager Glenn Roeder returns in director of football role. He came in during another sort of sacking time. I think we just sacked Souness, and he came in and got to 7th in the league, I think, and then we were struggling next season, he left, but some good memories there. And obviously that meant we let Mikel Anita go, but John Carver. In terms of the board, we're still waiting for this takeover. I've had about 5 messages saying it's on the verge of collapse, and then the next day it's sort of potentially coming back. So really hard to figure that out currently, but we just got to focus on matters on the pitch. And on the pitch, things are not good, as you've seen with the schedule. It's sort of gone off a cliff in the last few games. I'm also seeing that Kieran Clark is knackered, so I'm probably actually going to have to bring in Lejeune for this one. That was a bit of an oversight on my part, so at that point we might as well chuck Mbemba on the bench. So here we go, Chelsea. Oh, gee whiz. So, who they got? Anyone new hanging around there? Not particularly. Just looks like the standard sort of team we'd be expecting. Well, interestingly, Kurt Zuma is playing as well as Christensen. Drinkwater starts as well, so that's interesting. Again, I've not really played anyone in that team talk hasn't really done much, has it? I've not really played anyone in England in my off save. I've had a couple of meetings. I had a meeting with Manchester City and Stoke in Europa League and Champions League, whichever way around that is. So I'm not sure if these players starting are new, but to me it seems a bit weird that Zuma and Christensen are starting. Chelsea have a free kick first and foremost. Rudiger knocks it down. Hazard hits the post. Oh dearie me. Moses with a throw-in on the right. Oh, by the way, I've not changed any of the team instructions at all. I think I might have stopped Mitrovic roaming so much from his target man position. Kante, I mean, when N'Golo Kante's scoring against you, you know you've got a problem. Just so much time on the edge of the box there. But I'm wondering if I should be dropping to something like counter or defensive for games like this, just because, I mean, we're not great, are we? We've got a team that should be could finish anywhere between 20th and about 8th, and you just never know. In the last couple of games, as much we've lost and we've looked really good, but we're allowing Chelsea so much room. But then Chelsea do have really good players. Hazard, Morata at the near post, doesn't quite get his head on it, and what can Richie do? Generic clearance, terrible clearance. Azpilicueta's gone down injured though. And Pedro in behind the defence, hits it against the post and can't quite get in the rebound because Lejeune has taken him down. So Eden Hazard steps up and scores to make it 2-0. I think it's probably too late for this, but counter-attacking anyone? There is half-time. We are 2-0 down to Chelsea. We've created nothing. I mean, what am I expecting? Who's stressed? John Joe Shelby is stressed, which worries me a bit because he can be a bit of a loose cannon. Hayden is struggling and on a yellow, so I'm going to change him up. He's fine, but he's been injured recently, so I don't want to risk it. I feel like, as much as Shelby's decent, I don't feel like the balance is right in this team at the moment. What I want to do in the longer run is sort of create it more like Bobby Robson's team, so we don't, at the moment we're playing with inverted winger on the right of midfield, whereas I want someone, I don't know if I mentioned this in the episode or not, the first episode, I want someone to be sort of like Nobby Solano. I want someone to be like a wide midfielder who is a set piece expert, whipping balls in. I want like a rogue left winger to be Laurent Robert, attacking fullback to be Olivier Bernard, just players like that. Mitrovic is the right sort of player up front to sort of mimic Alan Shearer, but he just doesn't have the all-round game. So it's a matter of identifying those players if they even exist in the database as is. But Aarons knocks it into the box and Mitrovic puts it just over the bar, trying to prove me wrong immediately. That's the long-term plan anyway. Matt Ritchie, free kick on the left, gets it into the mixer. Lascelles has been brought down. We do have a penalty. Matt Ritchie wants it. I'm going to let Mitrovic have it because, I mean, he's trying to be Alan Shearer, isn't he? So let's give it to Mitro. Steps up, number 45. Mitrovic puts it into the top corner. We are back in the game on counter, which is interesting. And I'll leave it a few more minutes. It might be time for subs after that though. Chelsea free kick. Pedro knocks it short to Hazard. drink water just inside the box, and I don't know if that's taking a deflection, but so you see here Pedro, Hazard, I mean there's just no one really closing down. Drinkwater gets so much time in the box and there is a massive deflection. It was going on target, so it's his goal, but there is a highlight straight after kickoff. I've got Ki Sung-Yang and I guess Hayden before him as a deep line playmaker on defend. I found the ball winning midfielder on support just went walkies too much. That was a great hit by Oza Perez, but never going in. Yeah, I found it walking around too much, roaming, and I didn't really want that. As much as I put hold position, they naturally close down more and stuff like that. I want someone who kind of sits a bit more. I might even drop it to a centre mid on defend at some point. But I also want to try and get them to use their actual passing ability as well, but we'll see. Just over 20 minutes to go. Lascelles is only just back from an injury and you can see he's struggling a bit, so Mbemba can come on for him to get some minutes back in his legs, and then I'm also going to bring on Jacob Murphy for Matt Ritchie just to play exactly the same role, I suppose. Ki Sung-Yang with a corner from the right gives it to Jacob Murphy on the edge, and then to Mitrovic. Shelby loses out, but Aaron's now hits the post and Lejeune follows up, but the linesman hasn't moved. Oh, that's a shame. That's a massive shame. This is an interesting point about the database as well. Gelson Martins has just come on for Chelsea, so I think he was one of the players. Like a few of them terminated their contracts at Sporting, and yeah, obviously they're still without clubs, so during the summer some teams got ridiculously good deals. When I actually played around with the database before, I did it 2 days earlier, and I don't know if anything's changed now, but Max Mayer was a free transfer, and I turned off, as Morata puts in, a goal to make it 4-1, please no. Oh, I should have said we won it. But yeah, Max Mayer was free. I turned off the first transfer window, so I was actually able to sign him up in like September as a free transfer for Newcastle, wanting to be a backup player. Whereas now he's at PSG on hundreds of thousands a week, so yeah, not very realistic. So just about we started again. Aaron's knocks it into the box and Mitrovic scores. I know I didn't commentate that much because I was just chatting a load of rubbish, but there you go, 4-2. So we are emulating Sir Bob with this one. Shelby knocks it down the left. Our left winger, whoever's playing there, normally Atsu, obviously he's injured or just come back at the moment. Playing really well currently. I know we're exploiting the left as well, so it makes sense, but really happy with it so far. Courtois with a goal kick, and just to expand a bit more on the exploiting the left, I think that's the idea behind why I put the target man on that side, because normally I sort of play them on the left hand side. I don't know why, it's just what I'd naturally do. But I really wanted the opposite flank to be putting in the crosses, and if we're having the attacking winger going wide and high on the left, then yeah, we need the target man more towards the right hand side to make the most of the crosses. I say as Gelson Martin speeds up the right hand side and gives it to Morata to score, to make it 5-2. So 10 seconds to go. That's the end of the game. I'm hoping it's not 6-2 coming up. That'd be a disaster. So not pleasing, but Chelsea are good. They're a good side, right? There are a few good sides in this division. We just need to make the most of the games we play against your Watfords and your Bournemouths and teams like that, which we've also struggled against so far. So after that damaging defeat to Chelsea, it leaves us 13th in the table. Huddersfield and Cardiff and West Ham all have games in hand below us. Hopefully some are against each other. So at least only 2 of them will be able to overtake us at worst. So we could end up 15th, but yeah, let's hope not. I think I want to be bringing you a game that we can possibly win next time around would be good. So I'm looking in the future, and Arsenal looks the right sort of distance away, but I do want a game I can win. So I'm actually going to come back for West Ham. Possibly a double, we'll see. Depends how long it goes on for, but West Ham at least, away from home, 2nd of December 2017. I'll do my research on some more Bobby Robson stuff. And then we'll see about January when we get there. Depends what's happening in the cup, all that kind of jargon. One of the worst things about not having a board, or at least a stable board, is this. No one's interested in the transfer. No one, not one person. Not even Dean Henderson is interested in a transfer. So I've been scouting everyone, looking at contracts that are expiring, and just scouting a bunch of people and preparing for hopefully when the board do take over or stop, which hopefully is soon, I guess. But if you've enjoyed that, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It gives me a good indication you want the series to continue and that you're enjoying it, basically. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.